Remember when cartoons just appeared on TV? Now you need AI prompts, voices, scenes, thumbnails, and therapy. Now making one AI video feels like feeding quarters into a broken arcade machine. Every click costs credits, and the settings look like Times Square had a panic attack. If your AI content still looks like a PowerPoint got lost in the metaverse, copy my free workflow and it will solve all your AI slop issues.
Hey guys, this is Paul, and I'm super excited to share with you our brand new training series where in this tutorial, I'm going to kind of show you exactly how to create videos which are going viral for the last year now, not even just recently. So I'll kind of show you these and we'll walk you through how to create them. I have a full workflow done for you that you can get access for free here. You can also see the link in the description. It's 100% free. So what are the type of videos we're talking about first, and what's the workflow? Let's go straight into that without any delay. All right, so first of all, this is the type of videos we're looking for. A channel called Fern does these videos with mannequins and documentary style. And then you'll also see this, which is more similar to what the same channel does, but it's more in German language. So you can do multilingual. They do really well. You see like stuff like this. Stuff like this, you get the point, like this right here, right? If I open this up real quick, so you're gonna have like these mannequins walking in, right? And that kind of thing. And then also on top of that, if you come in here real quick, you'll see this is the other channel as well that you see right here. Very simple, same thing as you can see here, right? This is the other one right here. So you're gonna have the mannequin doing something, right? And so these are going viral because of two reasons. They're super exciting, of course, but also they are really, they elicit emotion in a really good way. So I'll show you how to use this stuff step by step right now. We'll do it in a way that it will come in a nice, beautiful way so that you can do this whole process step by step, okay? So without any further delay, let's get a roll in here. And then we can really start using these types of videos. How do we create them and stuff like that? All right. So first of all, when we talk about videos, as always, it's about emotion. What does it elicit? And also, what can you really get out of that type of a video? In documentary style like these, the idea is always how to make it really exciting and emotional and engaging and stuff like that. All right. So let's get rolling here. All right. So, and again, if you have any questions, I'll be checking in right now as well along the way. All right. So for example, hey, it's showing blurred. It's showing blurred because I'm putting my face in and stuff. So I'll zoom in areas where you need to zoom in, for example, so you can see it clearly and stuff like that. I'll create the whole step-by-step stuff on how to create videos and also show you, for example, in VideoExpress, what I've done as well. So you can get a better understanding of this on a step-by-step basis. Okay. So for instance, if I go to the VideoExpress application, you'll see I have the sequencing done here as well. So I'll show you what I did to do all these sequencing here like so. And then in my actual video section as well, I'll show you how I've done some of these elements. You see, like if I come into this section here, I'll show you how this works out. So if you see here, again, I'll show you the video with audio as well later on. But you get the point, right? So it's like somebody's walking in, and then as you can see here, you got the aspects of what we were showing. And then, of course, I'll show you with audio and narration as well, how we do narrative style videos and stuff like that as well. All right, cool. Now, that is the basic idea, okay? Step by step, how do we go about doing videos like these within VideoExpress.ai? So you need two things to make this happen. One is the workflow, and then the other thing that you're gonna need to do is basically open up VideoExpress, which most of you, or if not all of you already have. If not, hey, it's super cheap to get in. You can just get it started in like 49 bucks, really, right? So it's not really much, and it's no monthly fees or anything like that, all right? So basically, that's the general idea, right? So now, while we are at it, let's just kind of make a plan here, okay? How do we go about doing what we're trying to do? So the first step, as with everything, is I've created a free workflow for you, okay? The free workflow looks something like this. You just go and refresh this page, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So you come to this page, And then you're going to see this workflow like this. You see, idea to 3D documentary workflow. Okay, I'll kind of zoom this in a little bit so you guys and gals can see it even better, so that you can play around with this. All right. So as you can see here, in this particular page, you can see it much easier now. So the idea to 3D workflow, turn topic into a scene driven film, correct? So when you come into this page, there's a link. There's going to be something like this, which says build with GPT. Okay. And then you're going to come in and I'm going to show you how to develop the entire workflow. There's two ways you can do this. One, you can have ChatGPT generate the whole images for you if you want. I'll show you that. And then if you want to. And the second is you can generate the images obviously within VideoExpress as well. So both options are there for your benefit as time goes on. The reason why I've not included the Gemini one, the Google Gemini one, is over the last 1 month or so, Google Gemini has been lagging behind Anthropic and OpenAI in terms of their quality of their models, in terms of their research and stuff like that. So it feels like a futile attempt to bother. And the other thing is OpenAI will have their IPO coming up soon. So they're going to include a lot of their stuff in the free accounts, the cheap $20 accounts, the $8 accounts that they have. So it's a good idea to have it, right? So most of you probably will do that. So it's consolidating in that direction anyways as time goes on. All right. So cool. Now let's again zoom this whole process so that you can see it. So we go to the build with GPT, like so, like I said, and then I'll open up the ChatGPT window. So if I open up the ChatGPT window real quick, if I come back to it, like I said, is you're going to land on a page that looks like this, let's say, and then you're going to go with build with GPT. So it's going to come into this where it's going to say idea to 3D documentary workflow for VideoExpress.ai. It's basically something I built for you guys and gals, okay? So that you can play around with it and actually get started, right? So now the way I've structured this whole thing is that you give an idea, and this could even come from existing concepts and stuff that you've seen, right? And then you basically give that in one sentence what you want to do, and you can even get ChatGPT to do that for you, right? But the idea is that when you give it, you can then go ahead and then it'll generate the whole workflow, right? So let me show you that real quick so that you can kind of get a better understanding of it. So again, all the questions I'll be answering as well as we go along. Okay, I want to make it as interactive as possible so that because it's all free, you can get started, right? So you can be as specific as possible or you can be as non-specific, doesn't matter. So for example, if I go back here into this setup here, I'll make myself a little bit smaller here so you can see it clearly. So if you see, create a complete 60-second 22 scene. I can do 22 scene, meaning each scene equals one image. You can be this specific if you want. You don't want to as well, you don't need to, okay? 3D documentary workflow about a McDonald's-style self-order kiosk that makes a customer enter wanting one cheap cheeseburger, get pulled into fries, drink nuggets, dessert, and a bigger burger, feel guilty when the tray arrives, then reveal how kiosk UI psychology, food imagery, add-ons, recommendations, and stuff. And even this, I got it through ChatGPT. I just prompted saying, hey, I saw this viral video on this topic. Can you create me a single sentence? And I got this. Pretty straightforward. I mean, you can do this right now as well. And then I can just, and this 60-second is arbitrary. I mean, you can make it 2 minutes, you can make it 3, 5, whatever, okay? This is just an example. And then you click enter. Here's what happens, okay? Pay close attention. I'll explain this to you and so that you can walk through this process, all right? So watch this carefully, all right? And check this out. All right, so as we scroll down, okay, check this out. First of all, it says project title. This could be the video title, let's say as an example, okay? And then it says video angle, okay, which is basically the angle that I'm trying to achieve. And then if you come down here, okay, says a text to image prompt, image to video prompt, and then scene 1 text to voiceover prompt. What do I mean by that? So if we go into let's say the application itself, like let's say we go into VideoExpress itself, right? So the project that I've created. So let me kind of export this basic, like this 24-second one, which was created within VideoExpress, let's say. And I kind of show you that, right? And of course, you can play around with it across, obviously. But the idea is that, so for example, I'll show you, let's export this. And this is like, what, 20 seconds, right? And then let's say 3D documentary project, right? And then let's create. So basically now it's going to create us the project, right? So, and it'll appear under my videos on the top. So what do I mean by my videos? So it's going to be this part on the top, okay? My videos on the top. So if you go into my videos, it'll show up under these projects that you see here, correct? So we have like all these projects that we've created here, right? So you can download the projects that you have. So once it's exported, it will show up here, okay? The project that you want. So the idea is that, you know, these videos that I created also have narration to them. That's why I wanted to show you how they play out. Then it'll give you a better understanding of how we go about creating it and how do we go about structuring it and stuff like that, okay? So basically, this project, you can always save a project too, right? So the 3D documentary project or something like this, you can save it. And then when you save it, you can reuse. So like if, for example, we come back, I'll show you, new project, open, right? And we see this 3D documentary project open, and all these elements will come back into this like so, correct? So obviously, so then under my videos, you're gonna have it show up under these projects right here. Okay, is that cool? So when you export a project, this is where your projects will show up. Alternatively, you can even download every sequence. So we can download, I'll show you each scene like so. Download to your computer each scene, and you can play around with it as well. So let me show you that as well as an example. So you can do both as well for the cases of, you know, this. So let me just download this document. It's now done. So let me just download it. This 3D documentary project. So now let me show you how this looks like. Then I'll explain to you how I went about going and how you can make it big step by step. Because what my goal is not to rush. The goal is to make it as exciting as possible for you. And more importantly, how can you make it work, right? Without any complications and stuff like that. Okay. So let me do that right now. So first of all, I will show you how this looks like. So let me play this right now. Well, before I do that, I do see a question that came in here, which says, I don't see how to get the idea to 3D workflow. There's the link in the description, but also here's the link you can go to, okay? VideoExpress.ai/workflow. You're gonna land into a page that looks something like this, and you can refresh it as well if you want to. It'll be the first one, okay? You see this right here? It says idea to 3D documentary. You just go build with GPT. It's going to open up the ChatGPT thing. Even a free account will work. Paid account works too, whatever. As we go along to more advanced workflows, I mean, you might need to buy one of those $5 or $8 Go account or the cheap accounts as well. It's a good idea to have because you want to be AI native, right? So, and you know, ChatGPT is the best platform for consumer-facing stuff right now, where you don't have to pay API fees and all that kind of stuff anyway. So we can compete with $5, kind of $8 a month kind of stuff anyway. So it's best to use it. That's why I'm working along this to make it simple for you. Okay, so that's the workflow as an example to simplify this. All right. Now, the next thing is if we go into this, let me explain. So that let me show you what type of videos this thing will create, this workflow. And then I'll show you a complete workflow, how I did it every step of the way, including the mistakes that I'll be making as well. Okay, cool. All right, so this one is the one that I showed you how to create. So this build with GPT is where you're going to click on it to go there. All right, so go there if you don't have access already. Anyway, so let me show you right now something interesting. So this is the video that I created, by the way. So let me play this real quick so that you can see it. And I did this within VideoExpress, right? So watch.
To a burger place for one cheap cheeseburger, innocent, hungry, emotionally unprepared for the touchscreen. And the kiosk starts showing you pictures. Suddenly, your tiny order has fries, nuggets, dessert, and a personality. When the tray lengths, you feel that tiny shame spiral. I came for lunch. Why did I buy a weekend?
So what I'm going to do is, while this is playing a little bit, I'm going to walk you through a couple of points here, okay? So then that's a narration video. There's no lip sync happening, okay? For documentary style, it's always going to be narration based, okay? I just want to make sure that it's clear why it is done the way it is done, all right? Because sometimes what happens is people get confused. They're like, well, okay, I get the point. I see it. It looks interesting, but, like, why is there no lip sync here? Well, depending on the style of the video, documentary styles are always going to be narration based. And that's why there's a feature within Video Express in particular that does this type of stuff really, really well. Okay. So we'll walk you through that. So again, let me play this one more time, kind of to show you what we did, and I'll go step by step.
You walk into a burger place for one cheap cheeseburger, innocent, hungry, emotionally unprepared for the touchscreen. Then the kiosk starts showing you pictures. Suddenly, your tiny order has fries, nuggets, dessert, and a personality. When the tray lengths, you feel that tiny shame spiral. I came for lunch. Why did I buy a weekend?
All right. So now let me share my screen here real quick and then walk you through this process one more time. All right. So basically, this is how it works. Okay. First of all, let's go step by step here so that you can see it. And in case, again, for your visibility to ensure that you can see it even better, I'm going to map myself out a little bit like this. So I'm going to arrange myself a little bit so you can see me as well, and also my screen. All right. Cool. So first things first. You're going to see when you give it an idea in that GPT, all right, which is an automation workflow, it's going to basically give you scene, and then the image to video prompt. It's going to give you the voiceover prompts for narration. Okay. So how you go about doing this? It's very simple. Okay. So first of all, you're going to go in and then you're going to pick this, right? Text to image prompt, cinematic, faceless, mannequin, blah, 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 right? So you just copy this. Okay. That's all you got to do. Copy this part. Okay. Copy, right click, copy. Okay. If you're using Mac, control, command C, right? Windows, control C, whatever, if you want to use hotkeys. All right. So how you're going to do is you're going to go to Video Express, and in Video Express, you're going to click on create with AI. All right. So to simplify this so you can see it even further, this is the create with AI option that you see here. And then there, you're going to click that, and then you're going to click on this option, create video from prompt, right? So now you're going to click on that, and you're going to go here. So now there's two options. You can even, if you wanted to have the ChatGPT generate the images. So in that case, if you have existing images generated like these, you can use this option called use from library. Okay, so my workflow can also generate images. So for example, you can do, if you want to, I mean, it's optional, but if you want to, like you have the paid account, you can definitely do that. Free account might have limits, ChatGPT, but that's why I gave you that flexibility either way. So for example, if you want to, you can go back, right? And you can say, yeah, right. You see this text to image prompt, and then you can click here. You can do this, and then you can just tell it to, generate this as an image, right? And then it'll generate that as well. If you want to see, it's going to create the image like this, like what you see right there, right? So that is also an option if you want to. In that case, if you want to get the ChatGPT or the automation to generate the images for you as well, then you can get the workflow to actually generate the images as well for you. Because it just takes some time sometimes, right? But that's up to you. So in that case, what you can do, so you can go back to the application. There is an, once the image is downloaded from your computer, you can use this use from library option. What this does is it completely eliminates this image prompt option. You don't even have to generate the image at all. It will use it as is. Okay. So when you click on this use from library option, you're going to have, let's say here. So you see this, right? I can have things like, let's say this one, right? Generated sequence. I can use this. So this person is walking into the McDonald's here, let's say, and then I can go straight to the video prompt now. Okay. So video prompt. Now, what is the video prompt here basically? So if I go back into this sequence, you see this again, right? So this is the image, right? You see this? So you can take this, you can download this image if you want to, and then you can upload that image into this, like when you go back here, right? Into this gallery. So you says upload it file, right? Into that folder, I can upload these as well. So I can use those images as is basically. Okay. So let's do both actually. So the ChatGPT based image that I got generated, and then this one as well. So you can do both. That's why I gave you the option, because we want to be like agnostic to any platform, right? I mean, at the end of the day, results is what matters, right? So here, this is the ChatGPT generated, okay, image. So, but did you see here, aspect ratio needs to be 16:9. So these are the things you got to maintain, because for a YouTube video, it has to be 16:9. So I can go back in that particular case and just say, hey, you know, I can edit this and say, you see in the top where it says, like you see here, aspect ratio in ChatGPT, I can basically turn that over and change that into 16:9. All right. So it just does that automatically. All right. So this is another thing to keep in mind if you're generating the images within ChatGPT. But of course, we've automated that into VideoExpress. So that's another option as well. You see this? Sometimes you see these kind of things happen in the case of ChatGPT. That's another reason why we recommend to always use VideoExpress where possible because it's included, right? So this was the VideoExpress generated image, right? Or if you wanted to, you can go back. Let me show you, right? Let me show you here. All right. So here you can come back here and then you see text to image via prompt. And if you want to do 16:9, you can also do it within VideoExpress as well, by the way. Okay. How you do this, by the way, just for fun, I'll show you. You can scroll down and there's this smart edit option right here. Okay. You can use the smart edit option in order to basically make an image 16:9, that sort of thing. Okay. So like, watch this. Okay. You see landscape 16:9 is selected on the top. Okay, because ChatGPT and these things are throttling people these days for some weird reason. But anyway, you just do 3D as a selection, reference photo. Here is where you're going to upload that ChatGPT photo, which was this one, right? And then you can just say change aspect ratio to 16:9, right? That's all you need to really do. And then keep everything the same, right? So now it's just going to turn this image into 16:9. That's all it really does, right? And then now you can use this image. So we have that smart edit option within VideoExpress as well. So that's another good reason why using another tool where you have to pay extra credits, extra monthly fees and stuff is not required, basically. All right. So there we go. So we have that, right? So now you see this is the image. So now you can save this image. You see there's a save image option. So now you can use that image. Okay. So now we can go back here. So again, use from library. So this is the ChatGPT image that we have. You can use that, which we converted. So where it will come now, I'll show you. This one that got saved under my AI images. Let me pull that up. So you can move things as well. So this one, okay, there we go. This is the one, right? So we can use the same thing where I can go back to the prompt structure. Because see, I want to show you what mistakes I'm making as well. That's the key point, right? Text to image was done for scene. So now we just want to make sure that we use the image to video prompt. So copy this image to video prompt. So in a nutshell, this one right here, right? This is what I'm trying to show you. All right. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just copy this. And again, for those who joined in late, all right, so this is the page to get that workflow, which is it's going to open up this GPT for you, which is free. I made it for free. Okay. Go to VideoExpress.ai/workflow. It's free, 100% free, no opt-in, nothing to subscribe to, nothing. It's instant. You're going to get into a page that looks like this. You're going to come in and you're going to be good to go. You're going to come here. All right. So anyway, so you're going to take this image to video prompt like this, copy this, come back to VideoExpress. And then you see this video and audio prompt section, right click, paste. All right. And now, there's the other feature I mentioned. Okay, so let me actually kind of show you. There's this thing called narration video. Okay, this is what generates that narrative style video examples that I showed you. Okay, so you can click on narration video and then now you click on create video. Okay, this one right here. And then you click create video. And then here we have integrations. So we have text-to-speech integration, we have CloneVoice.ai, other application integration directly, which has 7,000 plus voices that you can use, very creative voices, right? Voice recording, and then import audio if you want to import your own audio or record your own audio, okay? So these text-to-speech voices, sometimes people say are robotic, depends on what you're trying to do. There's like these emotions as well. There's CloneVoice integration. What I like about the CloneVoice one is not only my voice you can use, but also you can use this public library voices that you can bring in. And in this particular case, I want to use the radio show presenter one that I brought in from CloneVoice, right? Because integration. So in CloneVoice.ai, if you have this application, you can bring those voices in to VideoExpress with a simple API key. There's tutorials on that you can watch later. I'll answer some questions on this if you have later on as well. All right. So now the next thing, if we come back here, is you see this where it says text to voiceover prompt. Okay. So let me highlight this one more time. This part right here, okay, is this he came for one cheap cheeseburger. You see that part? So that is the narration. Okay. We come back here, right click, paste. or whatever, make it easy, import speech. So now this will be the narration for that scene. Of course, you can tweak it such that the scene is much bigger too, but for quality purposes, to make everything very exciting, you want to make sure that the scene length is perfect when the narration is matching the sequencing, right? So you can do that, but you can make it bigger too if you want, okay? So click create narration video, and then boom, it says your video is done, okay? So now we can go to the next thing, okay? And on and on and on. So like if the next thing is, for example, I have, let's say this sequencing, I'll show you how to create this as well. But let's say this was the other one, right? Is the image. So you can do here. So basically, again, right? Just to speed up, I kind of wanted you to walk you through this workflow. But the next one is, you see, the person is doing this. This is the image. And then the camera rolls behind as he goes to the kiosk, right? I'm going to take this image to video prompt. Again, image to video. So I'm turning this into a video, correct? And then we're going to come back, right? And we're going to paste it in this video prompt section, this area, okay? This area right here. So we're going to paste that right here. And then boom, like so. And then we're going to do narration video one more time, okay? And then create video. And then again, if you want to use the same voice, you can do so. If you want to use another voice, it's up to you. Basically, what I'm going to do after this live event is whenever they pick narration video, what I'm going to do is it's going to pre-select the prior voices that you already selected. So it's going to save that extra step for you. So I'll talk to our team today and do it so that it removes this little bit extra step for no reason. Like let's say it's radio show presenter. I want that for the whole project, right? So you can save that. I'll get the team to get that done in the next couple of days. So anyway, saves you that extra step. All right, so now you just go in and you paste it. So this was basically the faceless thing. So now we just go in and we just do that. What is he talking? Text to voiceover, nothing more, nothing less, right? It'll be much faster, obviously, but I just want to show you like the slow way, okay? All right, so this is the other step. So now, and again, because VideoExpress, there's no credits or monthly fees or, like where you make a mistake and you're like kind of stuck, that kind of stuff, you can do as much as you want. Even these voiceovers, you can do as much as you want. So click create narration video here on this. And then, of course, if you don't want to use these images, you want to generate the images yourself. So what you go here is, let's go to the scene 3, right? So scene 3 is what? Text to image prompt, cinematic, faceless, whatever, right? Click copy. Okay, so what I'm doing again is I'm copying this element of the GPT, okay? So this one right here. Again, for those who joined in late, you can get this workflow for free here, VideoExpress.ai/workflow. You're going to come into a page that looks something like this. And this right here, you're going to select this build with GPT button right here, if you can see it. All right, that's going to land you on this page. Okay, so now anyway, I'm going to select this, copy, and then right click, paste this, you see, and then I'm going to generate under 3D category. I'm going to generate. All right, now you can turn off automatically enhance my image prompt because already the image is pretty good, right? So you can do it, up to you. You can test which one works better, all right? I am always a big believer in testing things. Sometimes one prompt might be better, sometimes testing. Let's even do that just for the sake of interest. So there, we have 2 prompt ideas here, okay? So one is this, and one is with the enhancement, all right? So there, I like the enhancement one better. Came out better, right? So meaning automatically enhanced, checked, this came out better, the result, okay? Just something to keep in mind. All right, so there we go. So now we can, use this image, let's say. And then now we go back, and then we can basically see here, image to video, the kiosk rows, blah, blah, blah. And then you're just going to paste that image to video prompt in this section right here, okay? So there we go. We're going to paste that right here. Boom, boom, boom. And then click narration video again because we want to continue the narration. And again, as I said, I'm going to simplify this a little bit so that whatever you picked will be there. I just wanted to show you though that you can change the voices every time, okay? The narration voices can change because it's a timeline based editor, right? You have that capability. Like for example, if I want to change it to my own voice, my own cloned voice. So this is my voice, right? So I can change it to this and I can basically have my narration here. Then the screen took over. So this could be my voice, for example, okay? Because it's my clone voice that I did within CloneVoice.ai, which is the integration of sister application, where if you have CloneVoice and you have VideoExpress, both of them merge together to do this, where you can have your own clone voices or these unique voices out there, okay? And you can basically preview it and like so. And then you can just create narration video. and then boom, boom, right? It's doing that work as well behind the scenes. So now we come back here as the other videos generate, because you can generate as many videos as you want, remember? So we can go back to here, cinematic faceless, this one, which is scene 4, right? So scene 4, this one right here. This is for the image generation. So let's say this is number 1 for image generation. Number 2 right here will be for video generation. And number 3 here will be the voiceover script for that documentary style. So it's basically like, you know, imagine you have like a little AI employee. That employee is just giving you, hey, for the image prompt, do this. For the video prompt, do this. And for the text to video prompt, do this. Just copy and paste in VideoExpress. If you're not satisfied, regenerate. That's it, right? That's what we're trying to do here. All right. So let's go back here and then scene 4. And then just let's just generate this one more time. And I found out that automatically enhancing was doing better for these cases. And then click create. So this is going to be scene number 4. Okay. Scene number 4. So if we assume each scene is about 10 seconds, say, sure, 8 seconds, whatever is interesting, right? Then basically you can imagine we are already into about 30 seconds into the video, 40 seconds into the video, okay? At this point in time. Again, there's no arbitrary number. Never should a scene be 10 seconds always or 7 seconds always or whatever. It should be dynamic, right? To make it interesting. So now image to video. So that's the second step, right? This one right here. I'm going to copy paste this. And so if you're following along, pretty easy stuff, right? Nothing really complicated right now. Copy paste. Go into the video prompt section, which right here. And then you paste this right here. Go to narration video again. Now you want to change the voice. Now, before it was my voice. Now you're going to go back to that radio, whatever, show presenter voice. I'll show you the end result. Don't worry. Then you can do that as well, right? So go back. Then we have this. The original plan was still intact, all right? And then boom, boom, boom. Paste that. Import speech. And then now what it's doing is it's going to get the audio. So there's 3 steps that happen, right? Step number 1, we got the image. Step number 2, we got the video generated from that image. And then the step number 3 was the voiceover, the narration was done for that image, which is very important for documentary styles, right? So there we go. And then we can go to the next step. I'll do one more as well, and I'll answer some questions while I put the timelines together and generate it, okay? Because you can keep going on, right? It's so easy, this stuff. All right, so you can go in here, right-click copy, and then generate this other sequence, and then generate. And while that is generating, I'll go here, I'll copy this image to video prompt. See how fast we can do this. And then we're going to paste it in the video prompt section, and then the narration videos there, create narration. They're going to copy here, then came the fries. This next part, right? And then we come back here. See how easy I made it for you. It took me a lot of time to make this, by the way. All right, anyway. So let's go here. Radio show presenter, plain text, import speech. So now the voiceover part is being done as well. And then once we create the narration video, you're done. It's being done. So I go to the next sequence now, okay? Next sequence is this. And then I go back here, same logic, right? Generate. And then while the generation of the image is happening, I'll go back here. This is the video, the next part, right? And then come back here, paste that narration video, click generate. And then I go back here and it says text to video, a drink seemed harmless. And then come back. Obviously, I'm going to do it such that these audios are pre-selected, right? After this, as I mentioned. And then it's going to be simplified. Boom. And import speech, why we do this extra step is so you can listen to it, because sometimes, right, accents might be lightly off with this text-to-speech stuff. So it just previews that. So you can play it and preview it once. But if you like what you see, you can always go ahead to narration video or edit it again and do that, right? And then let's do one more scene, and then I'll bring it all together, okay? So it's pretty easy stuff. So next one is the scene number 7, and then boom, right here. And then let's enhance the prompt, because we found out it's doing pretty decent, the quality. While that is being generated, come back here. And then we come back here, it paste it into video prompt. While that is being done, I come back here, and then I just paste the text to voiceover prompt, right? So I come back here, paste this, CloneVoice, the public library. This was the radio one I picked. I can pick anything, really. And then this is right here. And then this one right here, okay? So now you see the process of it. Just took me like a couple of minutes to put this whole thing together. Now, let's put this whole thing together, right? So while these are being generated, I'll create a new project, okay? Just as if you would do it yourself from scratch, correct? So new project, okay? So then we're going to save it once we obviously don't have an empty project. So you go to media library, our videos will always be generated in the My AI Videos tab, okay? This tab right here. You can always move around files after they're created, okay, to different folders. So as you can see here, my videos are being generated. So let's go here, right? So as you can see here, like we have a step-by-step setup here, okay? So first thing, we have this video, which is the video number 1. We drag and drop in the timeline, and it'll be slightly blurry because of the fact that I didn't render it yet, okay? I'll show you that. And then next thing is we go into the kiosk thing. Next, we have this, right? We're gonna drag and drop that. And then the next one is we have this one. I kind of generated some multiple variations, but it doesn't really matter, honestly. If you don't like this one right here, sometimes see, like the text is kind of off. I wouldn't use that option, for example. I'll just use this. Okay, this one looks a little bit better. So one of the things is like in cases where the text is not good, I would suggest you just generate it, which is more generic. Okay, it's a known issue with video creation where like the text rendering is not that great. So in that case, what I would just generally do is I would basically in the prompt, I'll show you how you can do it. Okay, so you see right here in the text to image thing, like wherever the kiosk is showing anything, right? So like you see this, right? Let me show you here real quick. Where was that kiosk one right here? Probably seen here. Okay, yeah, here, right? So it says your large self-order kiosk, right? So what you could just do is like, and then say no text, right, in the image, right? And then put 3D, and then click generate, right? So you can basically kind of prompt it not to generate, because when small tiny text is there, it won't render properly when the video occurs, just for reference, okay? That I want you to know, okay? So that it can basically do that, right? So see, there's no text in the image, whatever. All right, so you can definitely do something like so that with the angles are slightly changed. You can even do vertical the same way. By the way, I didn't show you that just so far. For shorts, it's really powerful, the vertical part, okay? In particular. So there we go. It's generating that vertical one for us. And same logic, what I just showed you applies for vertical videos, which are 9:16 as well, okay? You see this right here, as you can see. All right, so again, now we go back here, and if you don't like anything, obviously you can keep changing them as you want. But you see, right, what we did here. We have all the sequences right here, done, let's say, as you can see here. And then now we wanted to save this as a project. So 3D documentary project, right here too, and click save, right? And then you can export, right? Project too, right? Click that. Now, similarly, if you want more control over the image generation, you can only focus on the image generation and not the video as a starting point. What I mean by that is, if you come back here, you can use this, you see this right here, right? Smart edit option, for example, and then the stylized character options that are specifically designed to make a really good image. So for example, if I go back here and let's say in my images, let me show you right here. And well, let me show you here. Yeah. So let's say, for example, you wanted to change anything in these images and structures, you can do that. Like, for example, if I have in my 3D documentary project, so let's say these are the images, right? So let's say I want to change this image, right? And if I wanted to tell it, right, like 3D style, if I want to say, you know, change the kiosk screen to show order failed only, right? And then you can do this right now, okay? And then you can edit the image until you're satisfied, and then you can come back and import that and only generate it that way. So you have more control over images not showing any text, and you know you can control over certain elements of that video as well, okay? So that's the other beautiful part here of what I'm trying to show you, which is it gives you more control every step of the way of what you're trying to achieve. Okay, so if you go back here while that is being done, I want to kind of show you what's happening, right? So all these sequences were done. Imagine this was like a 5-minute video. It's the same logic. If it's a 3-minute video, same logic. Scene by scene, you generate the whole flow, and then we see the end result of what we are trying to achieve. And if you don't like any of the segments, you can edit the image itself and then turn it back into a video, the parts which you don't like effectively, okay? So that's the basic idea, okay? And And that's the basic way to go about doing it. Okay, so now this is the beautiful part, okay, so that you can understand it. And yeah, so this is a good question that came in as well, which is, yeah, so once you get VideoExpress, you have CloneVoice.ai, all of them integrate and talk to each other really, really well, like what I showed you as well, right? And the beauty here is that, CloneVoice is the best voice cloning, voice generation platform out there. I would say better than 11 Labs by far, simply because of the fact that we have the 7,000 custom library of voices. We hear your feedback and keep improving it. Language support, we're going to be coming up with a new update for CloneVoice, for example, where 400 different voices will be added in, stuff like that, right? 400 different language assignment. Okay, which is going to be the new update for CloneVoice and stuff like that, because we get people like having the Thai language, and in Thai there's an accent in Thai, so we work on those kind of things. So it takes much longer than in 11 Labs or somebody, you message them saying, hey, my language is important. Not a top priority, right? Because they're just bigger corporations. So anyway, so you see, right? I have like 19 scenes. I can just do that step by step. Now, one of the things that I keep getting a question on, which I wanted to address while you're at it here, is that why can't we automate this whole thing step by step? So the problem seems to be right now is that YouTube in particular and other platforms as well are going after channels which are 100% automated. The reason why that's the case is like, hey, you're watching the video. If you feel like it's AI generated 100% with not much creativity put in, there's not going to be much value for YouTube as well, right? So this manual input of like, for example, I go back here. You see this image got generated, order failed. That's what I wanted to show you, where you can change the image. If you don't like any image quality of anything, you can change that and you can use that instead. Does that make sense? Like, for example, in one of the videos, let's say if the text was off, you can change that. Gives you more granular control. You can just save it, and then you can use this as the video. You can come back to this and you can use this use from library function. And then you can just upload that image instead, so you can fix it. This is another reason why AI doing the whole thing kind of messes up, because if there are issues, let me show you this, where like my AI images, there we go, choose this. So here, right, you just now go into video prompt and just animate that, right? The man tries to click on the screen while it says order failed, something, right? And then you can do narration style video too again. And then again, same logic. And then you can come in and then you can go to public library, and then that radio show says it shows order failed. And then you can narrate it basically based on that. But of course, with the GPT, I've automated all this stuff, right? So you don't have to even think. There's no creativity involved. But anyway, so you see the point. I got the whole flow done here, right? And now let's export the video. I believe you already did it, but let me save this project to my videos. So I'll play this video out for you, and I'll explain to you some mistakes that could happen as well when guys and gals like yourself are trying to do it yourself. Let me play this, because then you can hear the audio as well, because I did put my audio, my cloned audio in some cases, just for showcasing what you can achieve with this. But check this out, so you can hear it as well, right? All right, so let's play this.
Or one cheap cheeseburger. Nothing more, nothing less.
Then the screen took over.
The original plan was still intact, and a drink seemed harmless.
Pretty cool, right? So you see what we created. So if you come back into it, this is basically the whole thing that we did. Like literally, I was explaining it to you and showing it to you. And I also wanted to show you my mistakes as we go along here, right? One of the biggest problems is people don't show their mistakes. So then when you're trying it, you're like, hey, the text was off there. I tried it, text was off. It does. Hey, AI will make mistakes. So anyway, what I'm trying to explain to you here, which is extremely important, is that we could automate it, like if we do it this whole thing right here, create the whole sequences, but then the chances of right now. So what I do is, let's say you went to the workflow page, so which is the page that you see here. That's what I was talking to you about. You go into that page, and let's say that workflow page, let's go to that right now, and it lands on this, right? So that workflow page was right here. So it's VideoExpress workflow, right? So this one right here. And then you see right here, it comes to the first page that comes here. And then you want to click on this build with the GPT button. You come here. The question that gets asked quite often is this idea, right? So if I select it one more time, this idea, right? How do I come up with this idea is the question, correct? So this is what I wanted to explain to you, that you can do that by prompting it as well, right? So you can do it where you can say, come up with another completely cool concept that could go viral like this one, and restart the workflow process, right? So then it will come up, it's going to think on its own. You see the infinite scroll tab, person opens their phone to check one notification, then loses an entire evening. You get the point. That's one way. You get one idea, you can do other ideas from it. In addition, if you come back to the idea to document your workflow, I can't think of any ideas for this workflow. Come up with a cool viral idea that will go viral as of June 12, 2026, right? Let's give it context. I want it to be now. See, an AI employee who replaced himself. A documentary style mystery of an AI office worker that becomes so efficient, it quietly automates its own job. Do you see it? Right? Let me know in the comments if that makes sense, guys. Right? If that makes sense, so that you can understand what I'm talking about. You don't even have to come up with the idea yourself, right? So there we go. Yeah, let me know. Right? Right? Okay, cool. All right. Right. All right, cool. Right? All right, excellent. All right, excellent. So yeah, so this is what I mean, okay? This is why we do these live streams, so we can learn together, okay? And you can actually come up with the concepts by prompting it, and you don't have to use your creativity, okay? Does that make sense? All right, cool. There we go. Excellent. All right. So this is what we are trying to achieve here, okay? So now in this particular case, I can just come back here again, go to the step one, right? You see this, the step one right here. And then we can go as well right away. You get the point? So that's the basic idea as well. So you can come back here, and then now we can go into this, right? Create right here, create from prompt, boom, like this. And then you can just create this and start the whole process in a completely different setup. Does that make sense now? And again, you can even do a vertical. Vertical generally comes out even better quality for this stuff if it's a 1-minute video. Okay, so let me even do that simultaneously while this is being done. Okay, this, you see this? Ready to go, right? And let's say I want to go back. Now I do this, image to video, boom, right? Play this. And then if I go with the narration style video, boom, and then I can just use any voice. Let's say I want to use my own voice, right? Or whatever, doesn't really matter. You get the point. So let me just say my voice. And then now you have the narration here, right? And then boom, okay? So now you can use your voice as well. One of the things that we are finding, okay, is, and I wanted to tell you this important thing, so that while this is getting generated, okay, and I'll write this down for you, very important, is that your voice clone is very important for YouTube these days, for uniqueness, okay? So the point is that what I mean by this is that one of the things that we are noticing is that when AI slop, as it's known as, right? The best way to avoid AI slop basically is we want to add a little bit of personalization as much as possible, right? So even in the videos, like if you can, for the first 5-10 seconds, put your photo, turn it into a video, or your own unique character that is unique to you that you can reuse throughout the channel. These little details matter, okay? These days, it's not just about like, hey, AI generate me a video and done, because now you're one of the millions, right? And it's not going to make you anything unique. So your voice is unique to you, right? Your face is unique to you, your personality unique to you. So that's the reason why I rather use my personality, my voice where possible, and add that extra, like oomph to my video, so to speak. Okay, so let's just create this while it's added. So now let me show you this real quick. behind the scenes. I want to show you the other video that we were creating as well, right? This order failed one, remember? Let's see if it got fixed. You see this? There we go, right? So there we go. So this is how we can fix certain things, right? Like remember that mannequin one got fixed now, and you can play around with it until you're satisfied with this stuff. Okay. Now, this is a good question that came in. Could you please make it realistic narration workflow also? So the way I like to structure these workflows is to ensure that you get the best results out of the box. You can prompt it to turn it into realistic style. Nothing wrong in it. But the thing is to simplify it as much as possible. Okay? That's the main thing. Okay? And that's how we want to basically always do it in a way. Okay? So we are basically in a way where we can simplify this style. Okay, so when I say 3D documentary style, I want to do it in this style. I've simplified it for you. Now, if you do realistic, you can prompt it in that same GPT. Like, for example, you can come back here. I'll show you. I want, which one was this one? This one was that, yeah, this one was the AI employee, right? So can please convert, I think you can't see this part. So let me show you this. So I'm just saying, please convert, okay, this into realistic style instead of mannequin style, okay? Change all prompts accordingly, right? Boom. And this is going to be realistic style. Now you see this where it says ultra realistic cinematic documentary style. You see, everything is the same, more or less. So I can copy this and then I can come back here, go to image, and then I can come back here. Just please understand the most important thing, this human thing, okay? Very important, okay? Because it's realistic. I cannot put 3D in the category if it's gonna be realistic, right? So I'm gonna click create thing. And here, by the way, for realistic, again, what I would suggest doing, okay, is test one without this automatically enhanced prompt checked and one with, because with everything I like to test, because some cases it does well, some cases it doesn't. It's a fair thing, okay? So let's just do that as well, one other test. Let's see, okay? Because this one is like this. Okay, cool. Okay, now let's see without enhancing the prompt, meaning I took whatever ChatGPT generated for me and I put it into the box, right? Whatever ChatGPT generated, put it in the box, okay? Which one came better? Let's see here. Almost the same, I would say. I would say a little bit better, the enhanced thing, right? This first image is a little bit better, I felt, but it's up to you. It's your choice, right? And then now coming back to that, so now we have the video prompt part. So, right, we can say slow cinematic push towards low and blah, blah, blah. And do that, come back here, paste, right? And by the way, you can do vertical as well. So I didn't show you that. So this is a good example to show vertical example as well. So let's do that. Let's do vertical here so that I can show you as well as an example, because if I don't show you vertical and I only show you 16:9, it's not doing proper service to you. All right. So while this is generating, let's go back and we'll also get the narration style, okay? Because we got the image to video and then one employee thing. So this, okay? And then you see this. So in this place, it's put like an Asian man. See, this is why, and I want to tell you, like, you can play around with it, but you can change it if you want different ethnicity or whatever, okay? But anyway, it doesn't really matter right now, for example, here. So here, and then, of course, what do you want to do? You want to use your clone voice? You do what? I can put my own voice, boom, paste, and then import speech. And then you can go ahead and basically play around with it this way, okay? All right, let's click narration, right? And boom, closed. So you see here, now these videos are being generated. So let's see this one as an example. Did nobody notice what happened? So like this one right here, right? So this other one is being generated. So you can't hear the audio that well probably, but you get the point, right? The narration is being done for that particular video while at it. So now this vertical video is being generated as well. I'll show you that as well in just a sec. So you can see that as well. And for vertical video, what's going to happen is the landscape here will change, right? In this segment right here on the top left that you see right here, okay? So in a nutshell, for those who joined in late or kind of want to recap, I want to show you a couple of things. Okay, so what did we talk about so far? Because this is one of those things where it's so easy to do videos now without worrying about credits and blah blah blah, right? You can pretty much do like crazy things right now with AI. And I've created the workflows for you to simplify things. And I'm going to be doing more of this stuff to simplify things even further for you. And it's going to be all 100% free. So other people are charging for courses, this kind of stuff, asking you to pay thousands of dollars, monthly fees and all that. I don't want, because where we believe the value is the harder problem is VideoExpress. Creating VideoExpress is hard because you got to account for so many different variations like this stuff. See, like vertical stuff and all that, right? So there's another example. Right? See this? There we go. All right, so let me download this and play this video for you so you can hear it, because it's my voice, right? I want you to tell me, does it sound like me? That's the most important thing. So let's see that right now. Does it sound like me? You tell me, okay? Because that's CloneVoice as well, because that adds that extra value as well, right? Let's see here. Employee worked so efficiently that nobody noticed what happened. You see that, right? That sounds like me, I guess, right? So you get the point, all right? So that's the basic idea of what we're trying to achieve here throughout the process, and play around with it, and effectively add our own systems and stuff like that to the top, right? So anyway, now let's recap what we've done, and then I'll answer some questions as well, and what's coming up as well, and how I've done some other updates that we have coming up for VideoExpress and stuff like that. Yes, I do apologize. There was that short period of time where like the screen was frozen, some live stream stuff. But anyway, so let's go step by step. Okay, what did we talk about today? And we'll kind of coordinate this stuff in a step-by-step fashion. Okay, so what did we do today? So let me open up a brand new project. Okay, and let's move on here. Okay, so what did we do? Okay, let's simplify this stuff so you can do. And we'll follow along with me here as an example. So watch this. All right, there we go. All right, so first step, what do we do? Number one, okay, what we did is I created an idea, right, to documentary style, okay? Documentary style, okay, as narration style, okay? So that will be the difference between what we've shown in the other workflows to this is narration, meaning no lip sync and stuff. It's actually somebody narrating, and you're syncing the sequences to the background voice, okay? That's the basic idea. The difference between normal other styles that I have in the workflows to this. And I created an entire workflow, right? And I shared that with you, okay? That was the free workflow I shared. I'll explain to you how you can get it in case you missed it. So that is the free workflow, okay? That was the second thing I shared with you. And the free workflow, by the way, while we're at it, is here. You can access in this page. It's also in the description of this video, VideoExpress.ai/workflow. What's going to happen when, you click on that is basically you're going to come into a page that has the workflow, and you can open up a GPT. So the workflow is a custom GPT. And then the third thing is that custom workflow generates the entire thing, including the idea, okay? So it generates the idea if you want. If you don't have any idea, you can even type what idea you want. It will generate the image prompts, right? It will generate the video prompts, meaning turn that image to video. It will also generate the narration script, right? So turn that text to speech if you want to do, right? And it does everything for you. All you have to do, right? Literally, that's all I need you to do is copy, paste. If you can do that much, right? If you can do that much, then you're good. Okay, just copy, paste, and you're good. Okay, so in a nutshell, let's talk about this, right? So the workflow, if you go into that page right there, so you see that page, VideoExpress.ai/workflow thing. If you go into that page, it looks something like this, right? So you can come in here and it's gonna be the first one that you see here. And remember, there's other workflows in the past that I've shared as well, like the first frame, last frame one, which you can integrate with VideoExpress's first frame, last frame feature. I shared with you 3D animation short film workflow, where you can create an entire 3D animation short film, nostalgia and all that kind of stuff. This is with lip sync and two people talking and, you know, those kind of use cases. Then I have also shared, if you go down here, realistic talking video style with lip sync, two people conversing, stuff like that, right? Now, what is different with this one is the idea to do like 3D style with documentary style with narration. But that's the difference. Okay, that's why when the question was asked, which was like, can I create realistic style, not like these mannequin style, right? Not like this, but I want to do realistic style. Yeah, you can do it. The GPT is smart enough to figure it out and turn it around to however you want it, right? Because I said, please convert this into realistic style, and it did that. Okay, so you can do that too. The beauty here is that workflow, when you come in and then you come in and you click on this build with GPT option, so this little button here for that workflow, it's going to come into a screen like this. You can give it an idea. You can even say, I don't know what to do. Like, hey, you know, come up with the idea yourself. I have no creativity today. And then you do that, but make sure it's latest trends that will go viral as of June 12, 2026. I want to give the date because, you know, I don't want it to be like some, you know, some random thing. See, the year robots got bodies or something, okay? And then it does like this whole topic, okay? So you get the point, right? So it does the whole thing right now. And you can change the style to, let's say, 3D cartoon style or like this mannequin noir documentary style, whatever you really want, you can change along with it based upon what it generates, okay? So the idea is like, you can give the idea to get more control, but if you don't want, you can do. And the other beautiful part is you can even say, I want you to generate the images for each scene yourself as well, right? And although it won't automate the whole thing, you can basically do that as well, where it can basically start, you know, working on that first sequence and stuff like that, right? Generally does one image at a time. That's the reason why I like VideoExpress personally than this, because it'll do one image, you gotta wait. In VideoExpress, I can just come and I can say, hey, you know, this is my text image, boom, copy, go back to VideoExpress, like so, go back here and come here, I just do this, right? And then I can just generate, like go 3D, boom, right? I can generate it right away. And while this is being generated, I can come back if I want to do multiple images, scene 2 image, while that ChatGPT thing is still sitting there, right? And generating it. See there, boom. I go in and it's generating the other image as well, right? Where is ChatGPT still? Still thinking probably. There we go. You see? So this is the problem, right? And then it generates all this other stuff, which is redundant and doesn't make any sense as well. So this is the reason why I always prefer VideoExpress, because you can do multiple sequences one by one, turn them into videos while the other image is being generated or other videos being generated. Okay, basically. Okay. All right. So all right, so now I wanted to kind of answer some questions as well on this and the other workflows we have coming up, right? And then we'll go from there. Okay, so let's post any questions you have in the chat box as well. Okay, so all right, so the question is, right, which is basically this question: do you need ChatGPT Premium, right? So I think Ben was asking that question. No, you don't need to have ChatGPT Premium to do this, because the way it works is just generates the prompts, right? Where they might limit you is if you try to make it generate images, which you can do anyways in VideoExpress, okay? So that's the basic idea, right? And the other thing as well, which I wanted to answer, which Ben was asking is, hey, you know, do I need to upgrade to Premium right now, later, whatever? I just want to kind of address this point, and I wanted to get your feedback on this as well, folks, is what we're finding right now is basically where the AI world is converging, okay? And I'm going to make a post on our Facebook group about this as well shortly. So what we are finding, right, is that the expenses for AI, right, the spending trillions of dollars and stuff like that for servers and all this stuff, you might have already heard about it and all that. What's happening right now is for us, like companies like us, to create a ChatGPT, right, like our own version, ChatGPT, it's kind of futile. Okay, it's kind of stupidity, because you have a company that'll be worth $1 trillion in their IPO, and they're getting unlimited money from everybody out there, governments, and from like from wealthy countries, and from Nvidia and all these big corporations and stuff. So what's happening is, we cannot compete with them. We cannot compete with them on price. We cannot compete with them on features. What we can compete with them is ChatGPT, for example. They had a model called Sora, their video model, right? And they closed it down. They shut it down, right? The Sora model was shut down. So what happened is, because they shut down, they'll never do video because they don't have the servers and stuff. And we're doing the hard problem. VideoExpress doing the videos for you, unlimited videos and stuff. And so what we can do is, instead of competing with ChatGPT, we can do better video and better images. Remember I showed you where the images, it takes forever to generate one image, and then they charge you extra money for extra images and stuff. We do really good job with images. The other cool thing that we do is we do text to speech and voice cloning and some of these other elements, which are very server intensive. And what happens is, these ChatGPT and all these platforms are what's called a general intelligence. Okay, so let's say if you say general intelligence, okay, and that means basically what they're expecting you to think about is, hey, the AI thing will solve healthcare, they'll solve for example insurance industry, law, it will do blah blah blah, right, everything. And what we want to actually do is specific problems it can solve, right? And specific to you, like a YouTube channel in this case. And how do we make it sure that, your YouTube channel can actually get views and not get penalized, or what's called shadow banned, where you're like posting videos or you ain't getting any views, right? And why is that the case, right? So these kind of things we don't want to do. So my point is, coming back to it, is that what I would suggest to think about going forward, and I want to know your feedback on this, let me know, because we're live, is that what I want you to ask you a question is, don't you agree with me? Like, let's say I think the Go account is like $8 a month or something. If you can get the ChatGPT Go account, whatever it costs, $8, $20, whatever the plus account or whatever it's costing these days, and cancel everything else, meaning cancel Claude, cancel, let's say Gemini or whatever other stuff, and keep only this one thing, like a Netflix subscription, right? And then what I would suggest is, then you have the true power of that general intelligence, and we can work along with you on the stuff that it will never be able to achieve to solve real problems. Does that make sense? Because I know sometimes it's like, oh yeah, pay for the subscription is kind of like a weird thing to ask, but I would suggest in the long run, because what's happening is the intelligence is becoming much better now. I can teach you some really advanced systems that, like will blow you away, but it would, even if it's like an $8 a month account or that $20 a month account, whatever, whichever part of the world you're in, there's different plans that they give of a ChatGPT account, will allow you to kind of do some crazy things that I'm holding back right now, not to share with you, because I don't want you to buy it. But what's happening as time has gone on, to be very honest with you, is that we have to kind of accept the fact that intelligence, like having your own personal assistant, having something where like I can create the automations, I'm doing all the testing and stuff, and giving it to you, it's a good idea for you to have it, right? It's like, for example, somebody saying, hey, I run a business, but I don't want to have a receptionist in my business to pick up calls or talk to clients and stuff. I'm a doctor, I want to still do all the work. It's not possible, right? So intelligence, like for example, how we would have a calculator, right? Like for example, mobile phones, most people use a mobile phone for taking photos, and cameras still have their space, but since mobile phones came in, more people could take photos. Now if you say I want to get a mobile phone that's cheaper without a camera, it's kind of a silly proposition, right? So the same logic, what I'm trying to say is, like, intelligence with AI right now, having one of these platforms, right? Whether it's Anthropic, ChatGPT, I prefer ChatGPT because they're more focused on consumer, while Anthropic, Claude has said, screw you to the customers. And so, it's a fact. What they're saying is, hey, enterprise guys and gals are better for us, so you pay for us for every generation you do, or every query you ask us, or every time you code or something. Well, ChatGPT is focused on the consumer side, and Google is the only other one, okay? But Google is lagging behind right now. So let me know if that makes sense to you, because what's happening is, like, I try to say, okay, there's this open source model that's cheaper you can use, and then that also costs money these days. If I say, like, hey, I can integrate ChatGPT into our platform, and then they charge us, like, it's $8 a month for you, it's going to be like $800 a month for us to provide it to you, which is and it's not going to have the same features, because they want to run advertising on ChatGPT in the future, so they'll subsidize it for you. We can't, right? So I feel like as time is going on, it's a good idea to have one of these, and ChatGPT is the best one. I know Some people might have some reasons why they might not like ChatGPT. They might like Gemini or might like Claude. Hey, doesn't matter. Don't be emotional about it. ChatGPT is more consumer oriented. They are becoming like the Netflix of this era. They're launching super apps and all that stuff. Is Anthropic better than ChatGPT in some cases? Sure. But overall, if you just have like $8 or $10 or $20 to spend and to have that, what do you call, industry leading intelligence, and then I can teach you some really crazy automations on top that'll save you more than $20. In fact, thousands, if not tens of thousands, in some cases, then it's worth it, right? So there's another thing I'm gonna kind of because I don't make any commission or anything to refer you to ChatGPT or anything. I'm just trying to say it's like one of those things where, like, when the calculator was invented, you couldn't just say, hey, I'm not going to be using a calculator, right? It made sense to do so. When the computer was invented, you can't be like, I'm going to use a typewriter, right? I'm trying my best to make a cheaper version of the computer, but if there's only an Apple or a Microsoft building these personal computers, I have to refer you to these, right? To get one of them. So you can have the computer, then I can teach you what applications to use and, how to use the computer properly and how do you get productivity from it, let's say. Okay. And that's the reality of what's happening right now. And the other cool thing we're planning on doing, we're working with like the teams over at OpenAI and other stuff as well, is to do more integrations within like ChatGPT and stuff as well. So in ChatGPT Codex system, which is, I believe, more valuable for this $8 a month accounts or $20 a month accounts, we can integrate VideoExpress stuff into it. So you know how like right now, I have to kind of tell you to go to the GPT. I have to tell you, hey, come to this workflow, click on this and stuff. I can just put like all this into ChatGPT itself integrated in so that, every time you come in, all the updates I'm making for the automations and stuff will be within it as well. And we're working alongside our devs and the OpenAI people and their own and algorithms and stuff like that to make it possible. So just as something else that I wanted to mention as well, so that it gives you more value. Okay. At the end of the day, we are in an AI race right now where in the next couple of years will dictate whether you're going to make a ton of revenue from it or make nothing and then complain about it that you missed the boat, right? It's one of those few things where like, hey, that $20 or $10 or whatever it comes down to is worth it if it can generate significantly higher amount of it back to you, right? And what will happen if you have a job or you're working on a company, everybody will give you a ChatGPT account anyways for free as a part of working. So most people will already have it going in, right? So just wanted to mention that because when we do these advanced automations, some of the stuff I'm teaching you right now, 90% of them will be automated, right? For example, one of the things that you could do with it is, remember I said here, for example, I'll show you, pretty cool. So remember I said, where's that thing? Yeah, so I said that text sometimes is off or whatever, and we have to edit it, like this one right here, right? I'll show you this. So like this one doesn't make any sense, right? This text right here, this one right here, right? Doesn't make any sense. So what you could do is you can say to ChatGPT, hey, my video got created or my image got created or whatever. If it has bad text, reject it and regenerate, right? You can say that and you can create that automation. So you don't have to see it. You don't have to go fix it, right? It will do it automatically through a loop, okay? And this is what I want to teach you folks, this advanced stuff that we're doing, because I want to tell you, like, last month alone, we spent like $25,000 just on, these AI tools to push it to the limit. What can we do? How can we push it? What can you do? Integrations and stuff. And what we learn from it, I want to teach you, but I can't teach you if you don't have that operating system or that computer, right? And it's kind of like you're going to be lagging behind in a way, right? And I know there are going to be people who are going to say, well, DeepSeek is cheaper or the Chinese models are cheaper. It's just that the frontier, we say, okay? Just a quick thing on this topic. The frontier, okay? Frontier of intelligence, right? Frontier. Right now, it is only two companies, okay? It is either OpenAI, which is the ChatGPT cheaper version, or Anthropic, Claude, right? So I just put Claude so it's easier for you guys to understand. So Claude, right? That's it. The Chinese models are lagging behind by 6 months. Google is lagging behind. Microsoft lagging behind. They themselves admit it. And so what's happening is, like, if you cannot spend that $10-20, what's going to happen is that you're going to be 6 months behind everybody. And that could be the difference between you succeeding and failing in many, many cases, right? It's like you going into let's say, for example, you're military or something, and people are fighting with knives, but you have like advanced weaponry, right? Or like, for example, you having a computer and your competition having a typewriter. It's not the same fight, right? It's just not it's a very unfair game at that point. So this is the other thing I wanted to mention. So as a homework thing, definitely see what's the cheapest option for you to get. And maybe if you have a, at workplace, whatever, ask them to give you the ChatGPT account. If they give you Google, ask them for ChatGPT instead. Like every employee in our company has it, right? Every employee in the companies of our competitors and everybody we know have it. So it's becoming like a normalized thing. So I can teach you more advanced stuff, okay? Advanced doesn't mean it's complicated. Very important you understand. Advanced means like it saves you a heck of a lot of time, makes you insanely productive. One of the discussions right now that's happening, and I want to explain to you, is a lot of companies are like productivity, right? So productivity, right? And people are saying, right, like right now, some people are like 100x productive, right? And some people, right? And then some people are like, well, like Uber and some of these companies I mentioned recently where, hey, we spent $500 million, okay, almost $500 million on, Anthropic, Claude, and OpenAI and all this stuff in the last 2 to 3 months. And we don't even get 1x productivity. What is the difference? What is the difference between 100x and 1x? Okay. The difference, and I'm telling you, as somebody who spent, even internally, myself, $25,000 last month, just testing different things, right? Pushing it to the limits, right? What I found out is that the difference between this 100x, okay, and the 1x, okay, is basically exact workflows on where the value proposition is, okay? So what I mean by that, okay, so let me explain this in greater detail so you understand it, okay? So I've been doing this stuff, this internet stuff, like, and I made money, I've lost money, I've made tens of millions of dollars, I've made millions of dollars in a day, and I've lost stuff, made stuff, I've learned a lot, right? Just a few years ago, I was named the #1 copywriter in the world, okay, in copywriting and stuff. I was the greatest, I broke records in terms of sales presentations, webinars, and this kind of stuff many, many times over in the industry. Now, I'm not telling this to brag. What's happening is when I ask ChatGPT a question, right? So I'll give you an example. So when I say, do this, right? Like, can you make it into realistic, right? You see how it just makes up some stuff with no coherence or context. So somebody has to come in, right? In this case, come in, you see, come back here, edit GPT. So you see this right here where, I'll come back, I'll hopefully can show this to you. Yeah, so you see this part, let's scroll it up a little bit so you can see it easier. Yeah, you see this is called the instructions, right? Like on my top right, top left, sorry, this part right here. So this right here, somebody has to test something hundreds of times to figure out what is giving the best outcome for a specific use case. And that person has to be an extremely good person in there. As an example, like imagine we have to look at ChatGPT like a baby, right? So let's say right now it's an elementary level, okay? So like elementary school level. So let's say, in my opinion, right now ChatGPT thinks of things like a 14-year-old would do, right? So it's like a 14-year-old, right? And now what do you need a 14-year-old? You need somebody like a teacher, right? So you need a teacher who is a master in their craft to say, hey, you're 14 years old, you have all the time in the world, you have all the energy in the world, you have all the focus in the world, but, don't try to make the same mistakes that I've made. Follow this pathway, right? Follow this structure, follow this method, and, you're making these mistakes, correct them. And now once they understand it, they have that playbook, right? What's called a formula, let's say. And now that formula can be repeated again and again and again. And 14-year-old kids are really good at that, right? Hey, your job is this. Every day, go and do this for 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. Like, mow lawns, just knock on 10 doors. And these are the 10 people who'll for sure say yes. And then you go and mow the lawns and you're going to make $500 for that. They will do that if they know that works and they don't get rejected and all that stuff, right? If you tell them what are the 10 doors to knock so they don't waste time knocking 99 other doors, it's easy for them, right? Same way with ChatGPT, what I'm realizing is that the expert in their craft, the world-class people, if they give guidance to ChatGPT in this case, or the AI in this case, what's happening is that you can then call it, say this is wrong, that's wrong. My brain, I'm putting it into this, right? Then when someone like you comes in, you're not starting as a 14-year-old anymore, right? You're starting in a teacher level now, almost, right? Maybe not exactly the same. So then what happens is that your competition is still thinking like a 14-year-old, while you are coming in like a PhD master level person, because you could have intelligence, but it's useless when you're not directing it properly, right? So that's why I'm trying to explain to you is that where we are headed right now is that if you don't give it the right instructions and you don't follow up, and if you don't tell it like, hey, learn from your mistakes, and this is your mistake. Sometimes it doesn't understand. Basic stuff it doesn't understand. Like, hey, I want a mannequin style video. It puts a person with a face. It says, well, it's a mannequin because whatever, right? Sometimes what'll happen is like you tell it to generate, make sure that I want you to use sequencing, right? Such that it goes viral. It doesn't understand what viral means. It just thinks like viral means funny videos, right? Funny videos ain't going to get you a result-oriented setup, right? In terms of video creation. Similarly, if you tell it like, hey, I want you to create, let's say, images or whatever, even if it's with VideoExpress or whatever, it doesn't matter. The idea is that, hey, but make sure that if the image comes this way, that is wrong. Like, meaning if the image has bad text, as an example, right? If the image is bad text, I want you to see it, correct it, and come. How would it know what's bad until a human can say, hey, that is bad? You understand? So as an example, even on, like thumbnail creation, right? You can generate with Artistly, you can generate with ChatGPT, you can generate with VideoExpress. What we are finding out is basically where if you can guide the AI, this is the right way an expert, like a world-class person will treat it and would judge it, then it gets better at understanding, right? And that works for every single subsection. I have idea to 3D documentary style on the top. You see there highlighted. The same logic applies to every single setup. I was asked that question. Why did you just do mannequin style, right? Which is this style, right? Like the videos I'm showing you right now. So where it's like this mannequin is doing some tasks like these, right? Like these. And why didn't you like tell it to? It doesn't get it. Okay, you have to specifically tell it, hey, I want these viral videos. It has to be this mannequin style. It has to be narration style. It should not have any lip sync. It should make sure that each sequence is syncing with each scene, right? And you have to tell it all this stuff. And if you don't tell it, it doesn't get it. And once it gets it, you can prompt it to really change certain things after that, right? And it's getting worse and worse with time, because what's happening is people, I'm seeing it like in real time, because I've spent $25,000 and I think we'll spend maybe millions of dollars on this stuff this year alone. Last year, just on GPU servers and stuff, we spent millions of dollars. What I'm finding out, and I can tell you with transparency here, is that what will happen more and more is the generalized behavior, right? ChatGPT is basically saying, I'm just gonna be general. Like you ask me, so for example, right? If I say, like, I'll give you an example, right? You see, I can't think of any ideas. Come up with a cool viral idea, right? Let's say, right? And this is your general ChatGPT window. Let's open up a general ChatGPT window, right? I'll even put, right? I'll put like this intelligence is extra high, right? Meaning like use your best stuff, right? And I paste something like this, right? I can't think of any ideas for this. What workflow? Let's say we'll say for a viral YouTube video, come up with a cool video idea, right? And then I'll say this, right? Even this, it doesn't get it because it's too generic, right? It's trying to say, oh, what do you mean, right? And it'll just do some weird stuff, right? See, it's trying to search like techradar.com and like Google, and it's trying to figure it out, but not understanding the nuance of a master. Okay, a master is somebody who's put, in my case, right, not 10,000 hours, more like 100,000 hours in the last 20 years, right? Ever since I've been 17 or so. And so, so this, you see this right now, right? See this? The influencer who doesn't exist, right? Cinematic 60-second documentary, best title, opening hook. Who the hell cares about opening hooks, right? Why it can go viral? It doesn't work. That's what I'm trying to say. How can you apply it to a video creation thing? Video creation, you see this, right? A glamorous influencer narrator says she looked real. If you cannot copy and paste this into VideoExpress, you can copy and paste this into Seed. That's anywhere. Makes no sense. So you have to now go backwards, right? You have to know the outcome, and now you got to go backwards and prompt it, hey, don't do this, only do this. Okay, if you make this mistake, make sure that you cover this edge case. Make sure it doesn't happen. If the text is too much text in the image, it may not render as well with the video. So make sure you limit it. You see what I'm saying? And somebody has to guide it that way. And what I'm trying to tell you is that even as we go towards the future where this stuff is getting extremely intelligent, if the master can teach it, and master can constantly update it. So in my case, for example, as you are testing it and you give feedback to me on these GPTs and stuff as an example, what I can do is I can recursively go in here, and these instructions file that you're seeing, I can edit it. And every new generation you do from tomorrow, or let's say another day, it's updated automatically. You don't have to come in and refresh. You don't have to download anything, all that stuff, right? And the same thing applies with the advanced stuff you're doing right now. One of the advanced stuff you're doing right now is you say a goal, right? Like you can set, like in ChatGPT, in what's called Codex, which I want to teach you folks for free, obviously. Which we want to integrate as well, VideoExpress and stuff too, is that the idea is that you can set goals now, okay? You can say, hey, my goal is for you to create me, let's say a goal being like a viral video, let's say, and different script ideas. But I want you to be, in a way where you test it against what the other best masters have done. So let's say I'm one master, I can give 4 other masters in the industry and say if they would like it or not, right? And pick the best version that one of those 5 masters will like, right? And then it will automatically do that goal. It will launch a bunch of agents and bunch of AI people behind the scenes, and then figure out that goal. Then there's the other concept called loops, which I'm going to teach you as well next once we get to it. Loops is basically where you can say, for example, where you generated this whole setup, right? So let's say, for example, like you generated all these videos and these other aspects of it. The loop will be, hey, you figured it out once, right? Now just do the same stuff every day for me. Does that make sense? So in other words, like you come here, right? You did this. I can't think of any ideas for this workflow. Come up with a cool idea on this, right? A loop would be, do it every day for me. Every day morning I wake up, give me more of this stuff. So I can come in, copy, paste, and generate stuff in VideoExpress, or even in a more automated way. You can say like, do it twice a day. Right? I can think of this stuff. And so the loop will be where it'll run the same system and get better at it every time. And you can basically do more advanced stuff that way. You can point it to your YouTube account and say, hey, why isn't that video getting any traffic? So do the loop where you fix it, right? And then it can come back and do it in a much more advanced way. So this is the stuff we are working on right now behind the scenes. So another reason why I would suggest is like, get that cheapest version of the ChatGPT account to keep it, because they do want you to spend somewhat like on your Netflix subscription. Not the right place to cheapen there, but with this stuff that I can teach you and I can guide you, it will be very powerful. Okay, it's like having an assistant. It's like becoming intelligent with time, guided by a master. So it's almost like, you're trying to learn karate. One of the things is you can go to the master and learn once a week, but what if there's somebody sitting right beside you and every single day pushing you to learn it, and the master is guiding this AI assistant, right? And the assistant says, hey, the master believes this, go do this, go to the gym now, go strengthen your knees, go strengthen your arms, whatever, right? And it's guiding. So that way it's immersive, right? And that's what is going to set you apart, is basically what I'm trying to say. Okay, so that's what we're going to be focusing on as well, because this is the first step, right? The first step is this workflow stuff. Okay, this is what we're talking about, the first step. Second step, okay, there are about like 250 of you, which is, I appreciate that you're taking the time to be here, and those will watch later on as well. The idea is that the second step for you will be to effectively create these automations down the line beyond just a workflow. Okay, the automations will make it even more powerful for you, even more productive. The difference will come, and I'm going to tell you right now, and we are seeing that right now, is that a lot of companies and a lot of people have no direction right now on how to be 100x productive. Okay, 100x, right? Meaning it's like having 100 employees, let's say, fully trained, right? And basically, let's say AI employees, right? And fully trained and knowing specifically what tasks to do every day, getting better every day. This is the hardest thing right now, because you're a master who already managed 100 employees, gave them tasks, knows what are repetitive tasks and then gives you those tasks and gives it in such a way where it's just push button easy. You press one button, like, you know, like you come back to this workflow page and you just enable it. That workflow, you come in, everything is automated, right? You don't have to ask for an idea, it's all done. Similarly, more advanced stuff where it'll become intelligent. So again, we're not going to charge you any money. I'm not going to charge you any money for it. It's going to be 100% free, all of this stuff. But please understand that we have a very short period of time right now where next couple of years will dictate this, right? Who is the best and who can get the most amount of revenue, whether it is lead generation, traffic generation, or growth, and also in a way where you can sell this as a service to other businesses as well. I'm one human being, right? What I'm finding is so many companies come to me and like, hey, just set up everything for me. I see what you're saying, right? There's 100x thing. I get the point, right? But I don't know how to set it up for my business. I'm a physiotherapist. I'm a chiropractor. I'm a dentist. I'm an e-commerce company. And I'm one person. I can't go sit with them in their physiotherapy clinic and then work with them for about a half a day or stuff, right? I can't. Just not possible. But you can, right? And you know, it's going to be worth a lot because a lot of people are just saying like, I can have the existing employees that I have, I can make them more productive, right? But what do I need to do? What is the question, right? And then the second one is how. That's what we want to solve, okay? What and how. And I'm gonna over time we're gonna simplify this stuff for you, and it's gonna be for free to work with. So it's super exciting stuff. We don't want to sell you any courses or anything. That's why I do it on YouTube. You can even watch it whenever you want. And the other goal here will be to make more shorter versions of these videos as well for you to watch them. So one of the things is live streams is a longer format to do Q&A like this, but we're going to do like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 15-minute type of stuff in our tutorials pages and also our YouTube channel. So do subscribe to the channel to learn that as well. It's going to be really interesting because what I'm trying to explain to you is the period is very short, and I'm going to give you every resource I need. I don't want to make any money off of it. It's no value because we're making enough with VideoExpress and CloneVoice and stuff, which we appreciate everyone getting. And because the best value tools out there, undeniably, there's nothing else out there which does one-time payment anymore without credits, without monthly fees and stuff, right? So that being said, let me answer some couple of questions here. Well, does this make sense, what I'm trying to tell you so far? And also I'll tell you what's coming up next as well, the next training series and stuff, okay? As well. So yeah, so this is something I want to mention here, okay? The best way to sell most affiliate products is realize how to read comments and solve problems faster. I want to explain to you something interesting is that when it comes to problem solving, right? It's like a human understands the other person much better, another human. An AI agent or an AI whatever, right, tool cannot understand. As an example, let's say I have a YouTube video, right? And I want to show like this order fail thing as an example, right? You see like here, some people just boxing. It doesn't, like what's the reference point unless there's a storyline we're trying to explain, right? Or here, right? Like this looks like a basic stock video unless the narration makes sense. So in many cases, AI doesn't understand. It will say, I successfully did what you asked me to do, but what problem are we solving, right? That's the number one question. Remember I told you, like if you come into VideoExpress, you come into Create with AI and you go into Create with AI, I mean like import media text to speech, right? This one right here. When you go to this feature on the right, basically, and then you come into this CloneVoice integration. Why do we do the CloneVoice integration? It's because when you do your own voice, a person who's watching can connect with you better, right? Because it's unique to you. People want to connect with people. People don't want some random person where every time they watch that YouTube channel, it's a different person or something. It's not going to be connectable, right? So that's why if you see clone voices, we have Ali, mine, and Yash, and Sid, and stuff as well, obviously. So same logic applies here as well, which is what I'm trying to say is that little details, right? AI will say, you asked me for a narration. I created a narration. Then YouTube will say, hey, you know, that is a robotic sounding voice, or that is basically a voice that we've seen 1,000 other videos have because it's a standard Google voice or 11 Labs voice or whatever, right? And therefore people are saying that it's robotic or it's AI generated or it's not interesting, okay? Instead, if it's your voice, right? at the end of the day, the people connecting with it, so they're like, okay, this person, basically I see it, right? Like I can connect with them better. That's why we did that voice changer feature as well. When you create videos with VideoExpress, you can merge it to make it sound like you, right? No matter what, no matter the language, no matter whatever it might be, okay? So that's the other thing as well that we've done, because these little details matter these days for problem solving. Because if it was just like AI will read your videos or AI will watch your videos and stuff, then why are we even wasting our time? Because AI reads documentation well. It doesn't want to watch video. It's too many tokens. It consumes too much effort to do that. So you might as well give it a Google Doc or something, right? With humans, we gotta have nostalgia. We have to have copywriting skills. We gotta have all that, which is all the stuff that I did in the GPT I gave you in the workflow, right? So we come into this workflow. All this stuff is pre-designed. It is done in a way where the copywriting frameworks are integrated, stuff that I've learned over the last 20 years. Next year will be 20 years for me that I've been doing this to 2027. So it's 19 years right now. Next year will be 20 years I've been doing this. It's crazy, right? Time passes so quick. So 20 years worth of wisdom is put into these platforms right here, and tell it what to do, what not to do and stuff, such that you don't have to spend 20 years to master it. You don't have to spend 100,000 hours or 10,000 hours to master it, right? You get the wisdom and somebody who's guiding that wisdom every way, because the mastery is not a one-time thing. It's constant, right? Like you don't have a soccer player or a basketball player or a, a football player or whatever. You don't have that person, just learning once from one coach and then saying, I'm done, right? It's a constant improvement because other players are improving as well around you, not just you, right? So same logic applies, all right? So just want to make sure that it's there. And yeah, we are definitely in the very beginning of this boom era, and absolutely 100% true. And if I buy the first plan at 49, can I switch to the full plan later? Yes. In the account. So if you go into VideoExpress, under My Purchases, you can come into this My Purchases tab, and you can upgrade there inside. Basically, it'll be the same price, okay, if you bought the all access or not, all right? So yeah, definitely not an issue at all. So when you go to VideoExpress.ai, you can definitely do that. And I'm going to answer a couple other questions as well while you're at it. And again, after this live stream is done, you can ask questions in the chat as well, in the comment section, because I check every single comment and I'll answer them as well. Some of them require deep thought. So if you want, I'll answer them as well after the fact as well. Okay. And another question that came in is that, yeah, so AI does not have enough reasoning power, not like humans. I believe it does have the reasoning power. Where the problem is coming is it does not have the nuance of human emotions and logic and stuff, right? Like, for example, like even this documentary project that I did, right? Like, it was a pretty quick thing. But like, it will say, a job good done is done. And when you, like, if you give somebody 5 people an opinion, right? Like, do you like this video? Right? You want to make any changes to this video? 5 people might have 5 different opinions, and AI will see all 5 of them are right. What I would say is, like, the master is right always, right? The world-class person is always right. It's like saying in basketball, you go to Michael Jordan if you want to learn basketball, advanced stuff, right? Basics anybody can teach, but you want to go to the best of all time, right? To learn, let's say, for example, what are some nuances and tricks like that. And what happens is AI will say, even a beginner, if they say, no, Michael Jordan is wrong, this is the reason why he's right, I believe you should learn this way, and it will accept it. Without, doing, like, understanding that, hey, the best is the best and the average is the average, and stuff. It's more agreeable is the best way to say it, than actually reasoning. Like, if you say, hey, I want you to do a scientific experiment and figure it out, it will, giving the confines. But if 5 scientists come and say different things, like, I don't agree with the hypothesis, it'll agree with that. If somebody says, I agree with it, it'll agree with that. Somebody says, oh, it could be improved 10% further, it will say, yeah, I need to improve 10% further. You see, very agreeable. It makes sense too, because humans, we have a different taste to things, opinion of things, and we are not satisfied. Some people are satisfied with certain things. That is the thing. So when you're trying to sell to humans, we're trying to work with humans, definitely matters, right? In that sense, right? So the other thing is that I wanted to do is, yeah, this is a very good question you came in, Gigi, okay? What about programs like Perplexity that had GPT in there? Would that work? I know, okay? Let's be very clear, okay? Again, I don't get any benefit from saying it, but let's talk facts, okay? So the fact of the matter is that with Perplexity and stuff, right? So let's write this down so you can understand it. So there are other tools, right? So Perplexity is one, Microsoft Copilot is one, let's say Perplexity. Then there is like these other ones, there's so many tools out there, right? Like Lovable, there is like other stuff out there. The problem is these ones are what's called resellers, right? So what's happening is these guys are resellers of like OpenAI and Anthropic again. So like they're the resellers for like let's say ChatGPT, the GPT 5.5 model, let's say ChatGPT, and they're also the resellers of like also Claude, right? Now, why does that even matter? You might say, well, what did the difference does it make? Well, it does make a difference. Even if they're willing to break even. So let's say, for example, ChatGPT charges you $1, right, per something, right? And then charges Perplexity $1. And let's say they charge you back $1, which makes no sense. But let's even assume they're like Robin Hoods and they're doing that for you, right? They do the subsidize and they give it back to you for $1. It's still more expensive because what's happening is OpenAI is telling to Perplexity, pay us right now through the API, okay, 20x more. Okay, you don't believe me? Let me show you. Okay, this is very important. Okay, it's a good point you brought this across, so I can kind of guide you folks this because it's something that is a big issue in the industry right now. So you can understand, and that's why we've decided not to compete against ChatGPT and stuff as well for this exact reason as well. Might as well you get it with them, even the basic plan, right? So here's the point. Let me show you this article so you can get a better understanding of this. Okay, let me show you here. Okay, so all right, watch this. Okay, so here, this is what it is. Okay, subscription plans are massively subsidized. Okay, this is an article from just like a day ago. GG, so this will explain to you a little bit better. Okay, so the Claude Max account and then the ChatGPT Pro account, like even the Plus account, everything is the same logic, okay? So you come back here, right? So you see this, the ChatGPT Plus account, which is $20 a month, the max possible spend, meaning the value, right? Like if, for example, in Perplexity, you were using the maxed out version of the $20, it would cost you $700 worth of credits that Perplexity will charge you, okay? So in other words, so let me simplify this even further, okay? So if you got the ChatGPT Plus plan, right now it's heavily subsidized. Claude is more 400, ChatGPT is 700. So in other words, if you were to use Perplexity, Lovable, and Cursor, and so many other tools out there, the same thing, they'll not even charge 700, they may charge like 1,000 because they have to make their profit on top, right? So what's happening is this is the subsidy for intelligence. Why are they doing that? Well, they're doing an IPO soon. They're going to go public. They want to be able to get as many users as possible to show growth. They want to destroy the competition as well. They're getting into industries now where they're eating up Adobe, they're eating up Figma, they're eating up like web design tools and stuff, right? So in a nutshell, like imagine for us, right? We are going to get billed, even if I want to give it to you at no profit for me, right? In fact, a loss because I'll have to have developers and maintaining customer support and stuff. The cost to me will be $700, what you're getting for $20. Does that make sense, Gigi, and other folks out there? This is the reality of the situation right now, where even the $20 a month account is actually giving you $700 a month worth of value if you were to use it with other platforms which use their API or what's called the integration, right? So in other words, if we put ChatGPT integration into VideoExpress or whatever, we will have to pay $700 per account, that which you get it for $20 right now. It's a unfair system, but hey, that's the reason why I'm trying to tell you, might as well, accept the reality and the facts of the situation right now, than try to camouflage it, run around it and stuff. And the idea is that at this point, it will beat DeepSeek. It will beat, all the other platforms out there, the Chinese platforms. It'll beat Microsoft Copilot. It'll beat Gemini from Google because the subsidization is insane here. Okay. And Like you imagine that, right? Like a $20 a month account giving you $700 worth of usage. So imagine in that case, it'll open up your mind and understanding what I can teach you at a $700 worth of value, right? In terms of intelligence, in terms of automations, in terms of loops I mentioned, and workflows, and some of the things that we can do. And some of the things ChatGPT can do really well. Many other things VideoExpress can do really well, CloneVoice can do really well and stuff, right? Because you had to point these to the tools, right? You can say ChatGPT, go use CloneVoice for cloning a voice, then use VideoExpress to do a video, then do let's say Artistly to generate the whole image sequencing, and you can pull all of them together, and using intelligence, it's almost like having an employee, right? Or multiple employees, because you can run multiple employee agents and stuff. Okay, so this is what I want to teach you, and it'll be more bite-sized stuff, not going to be long like this. It's going to be easy stuff, but of course we're going to do Q&A and stuff as well, and how to integrate our whole workflows and stuff in here as well. So this is the reason why I'm trying to tell you, last month we spent this 8,000 on Claude, this one right here, and this 14,000. That's why I was trying to tell you it was 25,000 something we spent, because you got to do that if you want to push it to the limit, you know, and stuff like that right now with the credits and stuff like that. Basically, it's unfair. It's the way the world works right now, unfortunately. So does that make sense? Hope that is clear. You're getting subsidized. That's a good thing for you for a short period of time until they do their public stuff and all that. And then they might jack up their prices again. But that's a good thing for you, because I can tell you for a fact that it's you know, it's a good thing for you to take advantage of, because then you can get, like, say in this particular case, $700 worth of intelligence for 20. And in fact, I'd say it's even more if you know how to use it. For example, when you come to a lot of the people out there kind of misuse these GPTs and these automations. So for example, when I created this workflow, go to Edit GPT, I'll show you, okay? You see where it in the top, it says model, right? This one right here. What you pick there matters. So for example, you see it says GPT 5.5 instant. So that instant thing, which you can use, right? That instant model right here is like 20x cheaper, okay? Because for text generation, prompting, and stuff like that, right? It's 20x cheaper. So a lot of people, what they do, and I've seen that out there, is that they'll say, I want the pro one for tasks which doesn't require a pro, right? So if you do instant, and then you do that, you're not going to spend like $700 worth. It'll be like $7,000 worth of value for you, right? Because for them, it's everyday fast-paced, right? You go to configure, and you see here, auto switch to thinking. You can uncheck it, so it'll always do that. And you see there's a 5.3 model, right? This 5.3 model is even more cheaper than the 5.5, for example. So what I'm telling it behind the scenes is that I'll say for this stuff, right, only use the 5.3, right, when you are automatically using some of the stuff I give you to work with, right, the workflows and stuff and automations. So then your thing, if I come back to that Twitter post, right, this exact diagram, right, you see here, if you come back to this, and I'll kind of show it to you here. I'll just zoom up slightly here. Yeah, you can see it. All right. So if we come back here, you see it says 700. It's more like 7,000, because, you know, that 700 is for the frontier intelligence for some stuff, right? So it's more like 7,000 you're getting value, right? Because they don't limit you for those other stuff instead of the 20 bucks. So this is what I'm trying to say. You got to know which one to use for what use cases, and only a master will understand that, because a master would have tested all this stuff hundreds of times over and use their experience to get it, right? So this is the other thing as well. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to mention this in our Facebook group as well. It's a good time for you to join it if you're not part of our Facebook group. You have 85,000 people there, and I'll be mentioning this as well, and be posting the workflows and stuff there as well. So it's easy for you to implement and stuff. But understand that I want to be transparent, okay? I'm at a stage of my life right now where I don't have to hide things. I don't even care. You get ChatGPT, you get Claude or whatever. Ultimately, I want you to get results, right? And profit is not everything at this point. I've made my millions, I've lost millions, I've done crazy things in life. So at the end of the day, it's not like to make you, for example, you know, if I say I get a commission for giving you Perplexity, is not in my interest, okay? It's not worth the money for me at this point in time. So just understand, there's only 2 companies right now in the game worth anything today. It might change in the future. That's Claude, Anthropic, and then ChatGPT, which is basically OpenAI. Why ChatGPT is better than Claude is because right now they are heavily focused on this $20 a month plan. This is their bread and butter right now. They make majority of their money through this, while Anthropic makes majority of their money through enterprise sales. So they don't care about you or me, right? If you want to get this $20 a month account, that's not their priority right now. Has never been actually too. So ChatGPT wants to make money off of this because it's the majority of their money. And in the future, they want to run advertising and stuff as well. So they don't mind subsidizing you long term. And that's another reason why I'd rather you focus on ChatGPT because it gets overwhelming sometimes, right? Where you have to use 10 different tools and you get overwhelmed opening up multiple windows. So if I were you, my opinion, just use ChatGPT. It's like your Netflix right now. Yes, Disney is good. Yes, HBO is good, but Netflix is unbeatable in terms of the value, right? Ultimately. So similar to Amazon Prime, right? There's other stuff too that you might use for shipping and stuff, but Amazon Prime is too good of a value for what you get. And so you stick with it for your shipping purposes and buying products and stuff, that one subscription. In the case of, let's say, food or groceries or clothing or whatever, let's say Costco membership is good. You might want to do that, even though Walmart might be close by to you, right? Similarly, for intelligence, one of these two will win. And I'd say ChatGPT will win on the consumer side for sure, from what I'm looking at. And maybe Google will be the second one there in the near term. So yeah, that's the reality of the situation. Okay, hope that I know it's long-winded, but it's important you understand the facts. Okay, and that way you have critical thinking component there and where reality is headed. Okay, and in our group we'll be sharing more of this stuff as well for free. Again, our goal is not to make money on this stuff, but hope that clarified you on that. Okay, as time goes on. Okay, the other thing as well that I wanted to kind of mention real quick is. Today we are in a very, very interesting situation. Maybe you can let me know in the last point I want to make here is what we are finding right now when it comes to app development and stuff as well. Like if I open up here, is that right now I'm teaching our entire team and I'm myself doing it, is that we are finding like feature requests to be extremely fast right now. Okay, so don't be afraid to suggest us features. Okay, suggest features, right? Tell us if you don't like something in our Facebook group. I mentioned that, right? Suggest features, because this right now we can get done super fast. Because what we did, well, we did it for the last time, we're doing more of it, is we will give we have our own like NVIDIA servers and stuff locally, right? So we even use more advanced stuff than ChatGPT and Anthropic and stuff internally that our coders and our people use. So what we do, we've amassed like the last 4 or 5 years worth of customer suggestions and my own feedback, and these live stream feedback we get. Every question actually gets checked and put into our feature suggestions list and stuff. So what we're finding now is what would take us, let's say 6 months 3 years ago to do, right? As of 2 months, it's not 6 months. As of like 2 or 3 months ago, it's more like 2 months. As of today, okay, yeah, new features is not even 2 months. It's more like 2 weeks because we got to test stuff. And I believe by another couple of months to maybe a few more months, it might be more like 2 days. Okay, fully tested and ready to go features. And that's why we want to hear, like, I want, like, when people mention like, I hate this about VideoExpress, I hate this about Artisty, or hate this about CloneVoice, and they mention it in our Facebook group and stuff, I actually like it because that's a frustration you're getting, and that means that we can update it much faster. Okay, and what that means, in other words, is don't hesitate to tell us what you want, what you don't want. And similarly, don't hesitate to experiment as well. Okay, so what I mean by that is, like, I give you these workflows. When I come back into these workflow automations and stuff, I tell you all the time, just don't be afraid to tell me what workflows you might want. And similarly, also don't be afraid to work along the workflow to fix things yourself, right? Like here, if you don't like something, like I don't have creativity, come up with it. You can do that because I've already trained the GPT, this automation stuff, to basically create it in a way that I would create it, right? And then now you can just tell it like, hey, I don't like it, do it this way. It'll still use my framework, right? And you'll still apply it in the proper way, whether it's realistic or cartoon style or whatever it ends up being, because the fundamental stuff is solid, right? Similarly, if you come back into this same thing, right? See, we have like this right here, first frame, last frame stuff, right? Which I covered in the last thing that we did. So similarly, if you come back here, first frame, last frame, you're finding also works really well for certain, image to video elements with a lot of text component, right? Where somebody is holding like a product in their hand and stuff. So you can now use that GPT. Instead of me creating a brand new GPT, you can say, hey, use the same framework, like use the same GPT, use the same automation for first frame, last frame, where a person is holding a mug, walking, or holding a mug and dropping the mug, but the text is intact, right? You give 2 images. That's the other stuff that you can do yourself. You don't even have to ask us to solve specific problem, because the framework is correct. The foundation is good, right? That's why we're doing it, and that's why I want to give it to you for free, because it makes it a lot more powerful. And as we go into goals and loops and some of these other more advanced concepts, it's advanced doesn't mean hard. Again, it's simple, but it needs a master to guide you in a way, because I have to experiment thousands of times to figure out where it works and doesn't work. And that's what a lot of our time is spent. And we're spending a huge amount of money running our own systems to test it thousands of times as well. Sometimes AI can do a really good job of that as well, right? So that's another thing we're doing. So that way, speed of implementation is fast, but also for you, actual results and stuff might be more easier because you don't have to experiment hundreds of times. The worst part, right, I see is like any outcome people are trying to achieve, it's like 10x harder, 20x harder, 50x harder when, you don't get the initial result, right? Like you have a YouTube channel, like say like this one right here, you publish it and then you get a like let's say in this particular, this one got 3.4 million views, this particular video, but like let's assume it didn't. Let's say I got 3 views. People give up, right? So initially the goal should be the first video you upload should get a bunch of views, so you're happy with the result, happy with the outcome, right? And so that's why it's so important that a master teaches you that from the beginning and automates that stuff, so you do it properly the very first time. You know what I mean? So that's the goal. Okay. So anyway, that's the way we are structuring the future. So just make sure you're in our Facebook group where I'll be posting all of these workflows and stuff for free. You're not going to be ever asked to pay for anything. And the second thing is also make sure that watch out for the YouTube channel itself. I'll be posting more shorter form videos where it's 20 minutes, 15 minutes, that kind of thing, where you don't have to sit through like an hour or 2 hours. This is going to be more Q&A, and the key components will cover in the shorter videos. Okay, hope that makes sense, because I do appreciate your time. I want to make sure that it's valuable, and this will be more like a Q&A type thing as well. Okay, yeah, appreciate all the feedback as well. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And just don't be overwhelmed with this stuff. All right. So when I say like a workflow and you see all these images and these snazzy graphics and stuff, and you come in here and you're staring at a blank screen and you're like, I don't even know what to do. Just understand that I've simplified it, and AI is powerful on its own, and the simplicity of it will mean that you're going to get a lot more power in your hands, right? And able to automate and stuff like that. So don't let it overwhelm you. What I wanted to be clear on is that just because I say some concept like loops or like whatever, it's just simply a goal you want to reach, right? That can be repeatable. Like let's say, for example, you want to create a video and you did this workflow, you got the script, right? It generated like this whole sequencing for you, let's say like this, right? Scenes. Just a goal would be do this repeatably every day for me. That's all it is. You might name it called repeatable loops, recursive loops, and all that snazzy terms, but in the end, it's repeatable, right? That's all it really comes down to. So simplification is what matters, but it's very powerful because it'll allow you to, where the AI will prompt you to do stuff. You don't have to ask it. You'll say, hey, you did this video yesterday, you want this now, right? And that's where we're headed towards next, okay? And that'll save you a heck of a lot of time as time goes on, okay? It's gonna make it a lot more powerful, okay? So anyway, I'll end this live stream now. I know there were a lot of questions that came in. Do make sure, please, any technical question you have, post them in the comment section after this live stream is done. And any other videos I post after as well, don't be hesitant to post any comments. I answer every single comment. And more importantly, I make sure that I note down any feature requests and stuff, or any frustrations you have and stuff, and so we can go fix it. Okay. And that's the best way for us to be communicative with you as well, because otherwise, how do we know what are the biggest frustrations people have and all that, right? And the Facebook group is another good place for you to do so. Obviously, that link you see there, and it's 100% free. Okay. So again, thank you for being here. Again, the workflow, I'll put up the link as well. If you haven't, make sure that you get that workflow in. Let me pull that up here real quick, so that this is the workflow. Let's pull that up. Here we go. Right, this is the workflow link, so that you see there. So just make sure that you go there in the bottom, and then that will be the link to go to get these workflows out there, and we're going to add more of them as well. Okay, so you keep checking that page as well with time goes on, automations and stuff like that as well. Okay, so thanks for being here live. Appreciate every one of you for spending the time here. Watch out for other shorter videos, and also watch out for the tutorials page where more of this stuff will be posted. I'll also be doing translations and subtitles and stuff for people in different languages. Can see these live streams unfortunately cannot be that easily doable there. So watch out for that. And I'll also make sure that, you know, if you want more of these workflows, I'll do them without even having to do a live stream. So you can come into that workflows page and you'll see more new stuff added in there as well. Okay, anything you desire, literally, we can be done with VideoExpress now in terms of video, images, voice, anything, right? So thanks again. Wish you all the best. Talk to you soon. Watch out for our next training videos, not just next week, but almost every other day or so in our Facebook group and in our YouTube channel and stuff. Okay, it's all 100% for free. Thanks again. Take care.